So we had prayer, and we had the anthem, and we had short exhortations. And now we are ready for the meat of today's activity, which is the community meeting. All right, today we have with us a few of our candidates who are here in support of our candidate, our area representative, Mrs. Natisha Charles Pantin. We have with us today to speak Mr. Orlando Kerr, WASP, you know who he is, our Lambo candidate. We also have Dr. Faith Brener. So we have some very outstanding candidates who are going to come and endorse and share with us the Tobago is we mantra. All right, so today at this time we are going to invite Mr. Orlando Kerr, of course the candidate of Roxborough, Ford. We are going to hear from him. All right, he has already started blazing a trail upon that end of the island. All right, I watched him online. I see him. I see the strength. I see the support. I heard him say the people like they want him to cry because they love him so much. So at this time, let's give him some Scarborough, some Bagatelle, some South Mason Hall, some Bagatelle love. Let's hear it!
Come on, put your eggs by Lando. January 12 forecast, stay home. Rush to the pole, dip your finger for Lando. For Lando. Roxborough, girl, we're moving with Lando. TPP and car holds forever. Call Lando, let we rise up together. Time to move forward. Queensbay ready, oh district powered. Redford Ali say we done with the stall. January 12th, fire answer the call. Bentley's up steady, TPP in control. 10 chain linking, we defending the goal. Louis dog calling, mind on the future. De La Ford, they go put the land on the structure. No talk, no drag, no run around plan. We want somebody who deliver, a soldier who stand. Rain or sun, come or rough weather. TPP strong, the anchor holds forever.
Good night, Bagatelle. Good night, Tobago. Good night to everyone who is tuned in, because we know that we have an international audience who is following these meetings. Let me recognize our political leader, the Honorable Farley Chavez Augustine, our deputy political leaders, Dr. Faith Brener, Natisha Charles Pantin, and Mr. Trevor James. Let me recognize our chairman, Ms. Ann Natasha II, and other members of the executive of this party. Let me also recognize all the candidates who will be vying for this election, and of course, you, our supporters, who have all made this possible for us. Let me recognize you in a very special way tonight. So, it is always a pleasure. It is always an honor to be given an opportunity to speak at these meetings. And it is even more of a pleasure to be asked to speak in this district, the district of Mrs. Natisha Charles Pantin, who is your current representative and who will retain that position as your representative. Ms. Pantin is one of those persons whom I have the utmost respect for, and I will tell you why. This is a lady who demonstrates professionalism, hard work, commitment, and under all the pressures that we would have been on, she was able to deliver for the division that she heads.
You respect that, you respect that, you respect that.
She's one of those persons who made me question myself if I had what it takes to be an area representative. The woman has so many initiatives going in her district. Tireless, always doing something new, always working hard. And I asked myself, Orlando, can you do this? Can you keep up with somebody like Natisha? But one of the things that I'm very sure about is that she's one of the persons who I can reach out for advice. Because you ask persons who are tried and tested, persons who have shown that they have the capacity to deliver. Those are the persons that you try to emulate and try to get information from in terms of what you can do to develop yourself. And I can stand on this platform tonight without any hesitation and endorse without any reservation Miss Natisha Charles Pantin as the next area rep for this district. It is no secret that when this administration came into office, Tobago was in a state of disrepair, chaos, things left undone, things that were not done, and it was benefiting a few persons. And it pains me when I hear the opposition trying to suggest that nothing happened in Tobago and that there was mismanagement and corruption. And I have to be careful tonight because one of the things that I've recognized is that when I speak on the platform, or I should say when we speak on the platform, the positive messages that we send are not put out there. But they take little clips of the little picong that we will say from time to time because that is politics. And that is what they put out there. But tonight, I am hoping that these people are listening so that they can take note. I have a very long list of things that Miss Natisha Charles Pantin, under her stewardship at the Division of Food Security, would have accomplished. And I cannot go through the whole list because we're going to be here until tomorrow morning. But I want to go through some of those things. And I'm hoping that some of the people who are taking the little song bites, they're listening tonight and they will take this song bite and put that up. Because they keep saying that.
You respect that.
They keep saying that we're not saying what we did. And the list is long. And I think that is part of the mistake that we would have made in that we did not go out there and boast about the things that we did. But you know why? When you are busy working for the people, you don't have time to sit down and boast about it. And I can say, without any fear of contradiction, that this administration is going to be there to continue the good work that was started.
You respect that. You respect that.
You're going to learn.
So we have things like the Shore Park Food Hub. I'm going to just list them. I'm not even going to put the cost to them because the list is long. Right? The Study Park Nurseries, all of these things were fixed under Miss Pantin. Upgrade to the Barbados Bay Fishing Facility. Construction of the Palatavere Fishing Facility. Construction and upgrade of livestock pens at Loidor Demonstration Station. Charlottesville Breeding Unit. Hope Farm. She had the emergency saga, some cleanup. I'm just giving you all in a nutshell because I know she will come and talk about these things. Right? Resumption of 15 agricultural access roads. 15 agricultural access roads. Repair and upgrade at the Charlottesville Craft Market. Repair and upgrade of the Roxborough Fishing Facility. Repair and upgrade of the Buku Fishing Facility. Construction of the Charlottesville Fishing Lockers Storage. Repair to the Bloody Bay Rest Stop. Repair works to the Buku Training Facility. The refurbishment of the Botanic Station office to house the Tobago Reforestation Watershed Rehabilitation Company. And I'm saying all of this, and the list goes on and on and on. This is testament to the kind of work that Ms. Pantin has done. When we came into office, I remember we met a backlog at Tractor Pool. with farmers waiting to have their lands plowed and so on. All of those things have been addressed. And you know what? Tobagonians, I don't want us to forget. I think that we have short memories. I think that this administration has been guilty of overperforming. And that you have gotten accustomed to getting things done now, that you have lifted the bar. We don't have a challenge with that because we will continue to serve the people of Tobago. We will continue to do our best to ensure that Tobago becomes the greatest little island on the planet because Tobago is we. All we are asking is for Tobago, for all of us to work together to build this island.
You respect that? You respect that? You will learn.
There is one thing that I want to say to the people of Bagatelle. Just a few meters down the road, next to the stadium, next to the Dwight York Stadium, there is a building that construction had started. And that was supposed to be the indoor facility for the children of Tobago. And that is very close to my heart because you all know I'm a teacher. And when I see our children going to Trinidad and have to play on the indoor facilities that they are not accustomed to, it puts them at a disadvantage. And any child growing up in Trinidad and Tobago must have the same opportunity. But I try to put it nicely because, as I said, I know that tomorrow morning they're going to take what I said and put only this part. But you see wickedness in high places, and you see evil and wicked deeds, they will come back at you tenfold. And the PNM has shown that they are wicked and vindictive. Because when we came into office, that building was being constructed by Udicot. You all know Udicot. That's a national company. And Udicot pulled out of construction of that building unceremoniously because we were in office. And that was for the benefit of all the people of Tobago. And Tobago, I want you to understand what is going on. And I often say to people, I don't ask anybody to leave their party. Because if you have your party, everybody can be in one party. But I think that you can love Tobago and put Tobago first. So now their slogan is putting Tobago first again. But the reality is that they never put Tobago first. And they're not going to do it again. What they are trying to do is to give you the impression that this is something new. But how this could be something new when the same person who is asking to be the Chief Secretary of Tobago presided over most of the corrupt things that took place in Tobago during their tenure? How that could be something new? So is it that now that there's a change of feeling, a change of heart, and all of a sudden they love Tobago? Tobagonians, don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. I can say one thing that a former Chief Secretary used to say, Mr. London, I can borrow that from him. Performance beat old talk. I was walking around yesterday and a lady asked me, what can you say to convince me to vote for the TPP? And my answer to that was, I can't tell you anything. I said, all I want you to do is to look at what is happening in Tobago. If you look at what is happening in Tobago and what has happened in Tobago over the last 4 years, that is where you're going to get your answer. Because this administration has done so many things over the last 4 years that we can simply stand here and report to you at every division. We have done more in every division in Tobago over the last 4 years.
You respect that? You respect that?
So that come the 12th of January, the people of Mason Hall South Bagatelle, look at track record. Look at track record of the candidates. You have someone in Miss Natisha Charles Pantin who has been tried and tested, who has performed excellently over the last 4 years.
You respect that? You respect that?
In my view, and if you look at it objectively, you have no other choice. Because to take the chance to put somebody there who don't know what they're doing, who has no experience, who cannot perform, as Miss Pantin, is to take a chance with your future. And we're not going to do that. So Tobago, come the 12th of January, we are going to vote resoundingly. We're going to come out of our house, bring out the auntie, bring out the cousin, bring out the nenen, bring out the cat, bring out the dog, bring out everything in the house, and vote for Natisha Charles Pantin to continue the good work that she has been doing. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you.
Time to move forward. Queensberry ready, oh district powered. Breadfruit and listen, we done with the stall. January 12th, follow answer the call. Betsy's up steady, TPP in control. 10 chain linking, we defending the goal. Louis dog all in mind and the future. De la part, they go put Lado on the structure. No talk, no drag, no run around plan. We want somebody who deliver, a soldier who stand. Rain or sun, come or rough weather. TPP strong, the anchor holds forever. Vote.
About good vibes. Oh, we have that on the hill. We're hot. We're ready. And you know what? We're all in. Natty, wherever you are, you're already a winner. We don't want no one else. No one else can serve us as you have. Only Natisha, Auntie Natty, any kind of name you want to call her. Natisha Charles Pantin is the candidate for us.
Respect that.
We respect that. All right. After one good speaker is another. Now I join the other people in saying WASP. These things, you know. Yeah, everywhere I go and I see him, every time I go and I see him talk, I'm always very impressed. He's quite unique. He's loved by the people, and we love him too. So at this time we are bringing another brother, to talk, to endorse, to share with you.
Until the philosophy which old one race superior and another inferior is finally and permanently discredited and abandoned. Everywhere is war.
Brothers and sisters, good night. That sounds good, boy. Brothers and sisters, a pleasant good night. First, let me acknowledge our political leader, Farley Chavez Augustine. Let me acknowledge our deputy political leaders, Trevor Williamson James, Faith Brener, and the woman we come to celebrate, the woman we come to send forward to victory tonight, Miss Natisha Charles Pantin. Brothers and sisters, if it's one thing I can say without fear, anything that is not in the right way, Miss Natisha Charles Pantin is the best person for this job.
You respect that.
Miss Natisha Charles Pantin is the best candidate on show. Miss Natisha Charles Pantin is someone that has demonstrated over the past 4 years that she is up to the task. And the task of Tobago right now is a big task. But she shows that no job No job, don't care how big it is, could scare her away. She faced it head on and turned around the division of food security into something sustainable. Miss Pantin is ready for the job. Miss Pantin, and Daddy tell you you want to take off the hat, you tell me come up with the hat, now me and like it.
You respect that. You respect that.
I want to tell you tonight that when you're talking about someone who has Tobago interests at heart, you're talking about Natisha Charles Pantin. When you're talking about someone who, when we entered office, they had a boat on dry dock. They tell we the all body place. Well, Miss Natisha Charles Pantin search until she find that boat, repair that boat, send that boat out to fish, and right now that boat is making Tobago proud.
You respect that. You respect that.
And even as Mrs. Pantin is sending that boat out to fish, making money we never know about, and making Tobago proud, is the same way the TPP is fishing for all those who went astray. Come home and raise Tobago. Come home and make Tobago proud. Miss Natisha Charles Pantin not only fishing for fish, but she's also fishers of men, because she's bringing them home to the TPP one by one.
You respect that. You respect that. You respect that.
I didn't know Miss Pantin before we were colleagues here. But when I got to know Miss Pantin is somebody worth knowing and someone worth keeping as a friend. Miss Pantin has a genuine heart. Miss Pantin is someone you can call on. If for some reason you seem to not be able to find your way, you could call on Miss Pantin. There are times when I was uncertain about things within my division. I didn't hesitate. Call Miss Pantin, and Miss Pantin was always able to offer advice. Miss Pantin was always able to point you in a direction that will make you better than you was. We have a hard task. We have a task that is as tall as a mountain in front of us. That task is so tall, but we have the right people for it. That task of making Tobago the greatest little island on the planet, that task becomes more possible when you have people like Natisha Charles Pantin in your corner. Miss Pantin is the person for this job. Miss Pantin has demonstrated that she's up to the task. I want each and every one of you to understand that coming here and wait for Miss Pantin is only a little part of the job. Coming here and wait for Miss Pantin, that wave will not be completed until we get to January 12th, when you go out and vote. Vote for the anchor. Vote for Natisha Charles Pantin. Then you will demonstrate that you are interested in taking Tobago forward. Brothers and sisters, I want to share a couple of things with you. We are up against an opponent that don't care how they look wither, don't care how they look half dead, you have to make sure that they're dead. You have to make sure that you go out on January 12th and vote for the anchor, and that way you will put an end to anything that is red. On January 12th, you got to go out and signal that you are serious about Tobago business by voting for Miss Pantin. On January 12th, you got to send that signal to all and sundry that Tobago is well anchored and Tobago is well pleased with the service of Miss Natisha Charles Pantin.
You respect that? You respect that?
You know, if for some reason they call this period the silly season. I don't know why he call it that. But I could tell you that even Tobago is actually at a very critical place now. Because there are some people who hold technical positions on the island and push back technically against you, trying to play for time to say that when this 4 years done, the window not enough come and we could vote them out. But them didn't hear about Miss Pantin. Them didn't know about Miss Pantin. Miss Pantin showed one and all that don't care where you're from and don't care what kind of smoke screen or whatever you're trying to put up, she could move it and make the division of food security successful. Miss Pantin has showed that regardless of what you want to do, she's interested in refurbishing those fishing facilities across the island so the fishermen of Tobago could ply their trade with some dignity. Miss Pantin has showed that she is the right person for this job, and regardless of who they choose to send, they could send a police, they could send a fireman, they could send a soldier, they could even send a prisoner. Miss Pantin got prevail. This election, brothers and sisters, requires you to do more than just waving your flag. This election requires you to do more than wearing a jersey. This election requires you to do more than turning up in every meeting. This election requires you to make your vote count. This election is about putting Tobago on a path of prosperity. The work has started 4 years ago, and with people like Miss Natisha Charles Pantin, I could tell you that the TPP is far from finished. We're going to get the job done. We're going to go through. We're going to make this happen. We're going to make believers out of every unbeliever. We're going to make Tobago the greatest little island on the planet. When you look at the candidates, that line up against Miss Pantin, I don't know how much, but I'm a man who I focus. And once I know Miss Pantin on the card, on the ballot paper, I ain't looking nowhere else. I looking by Miss Pantin because I looking by somebody who demonstrate that they could get the job done. I looking by somebody who has shown that they could raise the division and put it among the top divisions throughout the THA. Miss Pantin has demonstrated her leadership qualities, and she, I think, is really up to the task. And I ask you to give her 4 more years, that when you come in here, she might dig up all the pitchy and plans. Don't play with Miss Pantin. There were times in our past, brothers and sisters, that sometimes you didn't know what the next day looked like. When we got pressure from what should be our brothers and sisters across the sea, you didn't know if they would be here tomorrow. When we chose the anchor, it wasn't by accident. Because if you're slipping down any kind of hill, if you're drifting across the seas, you need an anchor to keep you steady. If you're moving and you can't stop, especially if you're moving in that direction that you didn't choose, you need an anchor. I'm telling you that you need Miss Natisha Charles Pantin to anchor this district like no one has ever anchored it before. We have gone through many storms. We have gone through many rough days, brothers and sisters. And we are at a point now where relief is coming. We experience what it is to not be second in the past 4 years. Because when you watch around Tobago, you see some things that in Tobago that ain't even in Trinidad. Listen, I did a brief course in Trinidad and they used to kick off on me. time you got Trinidad, if you ain't got Trinidad for a month, when you go back, always have to be walking and looking around, look, because something new going up. They used to say if you come to Tobago, you could blindfold and walk off the boat because nothing ain't changed. But I'm telling you now, with Miss Natisha Charles Pantin in the sector of agriculture, a lot has changed. With Miss Natisha Charles Pantin, you look at the capital of paradise and a lot has changed. The capital of paradise has risen from the dry dock to the thing that is bringing some of the most revenue for Tobago right now. Miss Pantin is the reason for that, and I want you to put your hands together for Miss Pantin because you must applaud good work when you see good work. Everybody know when we got into office, they said the capital of paradise was in Suriname. They say it was in Cuba. Me no, I call Castro. He said, me ain't see no paradise up here. They say it all about. When you do hear the shout, you know that boat was in Trinidad? The boat was in Trinidad. Miss Pantin got there. She sprang into action. The boat was repaired and prepared for sea at probably half the cost that somebody else had estimated. And she didn't stop there. She sent it out. And each and every day that boat go out, he coming back with a bigger and a bigger catch and a bigger and a bigger catch. In the same way, the TPP going to continue winning bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
You respect that? You respect that?
Even before I wrap up, let me tell you that January 12th is history in the making. January 12th is a serious time. January 12th will not be easy. From here to there will be very challenging. I don't know how much people prepared to have their cupboard home, the drawer in their cupboard digging up. You know they like to dig up your drawer. But me ain't saying what is there in the drawer. I just went and, I'm now fighting to build a little house when the joiner come in and he said, what kind of cupboard you want? When I realized what they do to Zorisha, what they do to Dr. Faith, what they do to Chief, I said, build my cupboard with no drawers. Because they ain't digging up in my drawer. It wasn't easy that past 4 years, brothers and sisters. I'm telling you, it wasn't easy. It ain't easy going to bed with your family, not knowing what time. You know they're coming, but you don't know what time they're going to come and dig up your place, traumatize your family, put you under unnecessary pressure. And for today, all of us grow and all of us live to realize that there was no truth behind it. What kind of people could terrorize people for no reason? But I was thinking was no reason, but when you do, check it out. If you think you had the option right now to beat somebody, beat them down, who you know will beat you tomorrow, I think any reasonable man will take that option. That is what they try to take. That is what they try to do. But the anchor holds. The anchor holds. And despite the pressure, we show that we could keep rising. Not only to the occasion, but we keep rising every day. We keep getting stronger. We decide to start this party, and we decide to start it different from all other parties. We decide to start this party, and all them other parties, when you join the party, you already reach a name, you reach a constitution, you reach everything. And we, under the leadership of Farley Chavez Augustine, and the deputy, listen, deputy essential in with Miss Pantin as Farley deputy, I could tell you, we in good business. And deputy is important. When we decide to start this party, we decided that we was going to build it from the ground up. So you choose the name, you choose the symbol, you choose the color, and you're going to vote and make us victorious. You're going to do that for us because it's your party And January 12th gonna be your victory. We have before us but a few weeks to go. Don't lose sight of what is important. Stay focused. Stay the course. All these days, all these late nights, all these long meetings wouldn't mean anything if you didn't go out and vote. During the walkabout, you see some people telling you that I don't vote. One man tell me the other day, it's 21 years prior to 2020, he didn't vote. I said, well, in a kind of way, I understand it because it was 21 years I wasted Tobago time, wasting Tobago history. But in the last 4 years, he said when he see the turnaround that he saw in Tobago, every day now we going and vote. Now that we see the light, we see progress. Every night I come up here, I had to boast about the carnival. I had to boast about the carnival. It's your carnival and you own it. Give yourself a round of applause. You ever see people in Tobago? It's carnival one way. We go down Corlan. It's a beach facility of world-class standard. That is a first. There isn't even one in Trinidad. Give yourself a round of applause for that. And here now, you know the other day, the diving thing from up on the high ramp in Charlottesville. Tobago ever see anything like that? But I tell you, with the Tobago People's Party, all things are possible. Don't lose faith. This is a party that will take you to great heights. Just the other day, you go down to Scarborough. You ever see things forming up, all kind of thing in the air like that? Without any noise? I say it's your thing. Give yourself a round of applause. We had a big drone show, and we're on the right path.
You respect that.
Miss Pantin, you know, when I was coming up tonight, I either thinking it's wrong, so when you said the empty lot. I gone wrong, so I said, but now this can't be we meeting. Is when other people get meeting, it don't look empty, sir. I turn around and I come up here. I say, you know, Miss Pantin, very strategic. Miss Pantin ain't find nowhere else to keep this meeting but by the road to go by the old hospital. I feel you got to open it on January 12th. But on a serious note, brothers and sisters, this THA has been working for you. This THA has been working for you over the past 4 years. They say we are a bunch of newbies. But the amount of new thing we bring to Tobago, we could stay new and continue bringing new things to Tobago. And let we stay the newest of the new. We will continue doing things in the Tobago space that has never been done before. When you talk about our next deputy, Trevor, the chief really know he pick a deputy. I never see a man could caulk holes, sir. Trevor going round Tobago, caulking up every hole in the road. Yes, Trevor does fix all the hole. And when you talk about Dr. Faith, another deputy, man, if you couldn't see, you hear how much surgery she get done? People coming up from Trinidad to get an eye fix here. But listen, I think Dr. Faith had to put a next layer to this thing. You see, when we think we have to look to America, America looking to we to get an eye fix. This THA is destined for greatness. It's over 2,000 surgeries they did up in Roxborough. Led by Dr. Faith, another deputy. You talk about fix your eye. They fix your eye. Fix the road. Build new road. Build beach facility. Give it big carnival. Give it diving competition. I tell you this THA only gain we all kind of thing. Thing that we never know about. So as I wrap up, As I wrap up, because even though I'm watching straight, I was watching the corner there, I see the MC watching me side eye. But me afraid I come to talk about Miss Pantin tonight.
You respect that?
And nobody ain't stopping me from talking for Miss Pantin. I said vote for Miss Pantin on the 12th. Miss Pantin deserve another term. Give Miss Pantin another term. And give Miss Pantin another term after that. Miss Pantin deserve how much term she wants because she is a worker. On January 12th, vote for the anchor in Bagatelle. Is what in the Mason Hall, north, south, east, west. Just vote for the anchor. Because the anchor is what got ground Tobago. The anchor is what going to put Tobago on the path to prosperity. Vote for Natisha Charles Pantin. Vote for the anchor. Vote for Natisha Charles Pantin. There is no other like her. There is no other in the race than Natisha Charles Pantin. And this Tobago People's Party, brothers and sisters, is poised for greatness. We're going to take Tobago to places that they have never gone before. This Tobago People's Party, mark my words, this Tobago People Party will transform Tobago into the greatest liquor island. The greatest liquor island. With Miss Natisha Charles Pantin, I have no doubt that we're going to become the greatest liquor island on the planet. Thank you, brothers and sisters.
Until the philosophy which old one race superior and another inferior is finally and permanently discredited and abandoned.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Now you would have observed that I'm carrying my area representative on my shoulder. I've done that for the last 4 years. All right, I've taken her with me. One of her intercessors. She's not stupid at all. She knows how to call up her intercessors. And I am one of them. And this is figurative, but she's on my shoulder. And I want to encourage all of us in this constituency to take on your shoulders. Lift her up, bear her up. We have walked the whole of this constituency. We touch on every door. If you didn't see us, it's because you were not at home. We walk up, we walk down, and when we're tired, some persons drive you up a little bit and then drop us off and we go again. And we mean business. We are here to serve. Serve this community. There are so many good things in store for us. The work has started 4 years. We are saying 4 more years to continue. All right, we have projections. There are things we're going to do. On the hill, it's not going to be the same. All those, we heard you. We heard the cry. We heard you want something for the children. We heard you want your own community center. We heard you want a hub. We're listening. It's in the plans. Now, at this time, I think there was a car that was blocking, but I took a while to get back here, so I believe by now the person would have moved. Let's see the number. PEH 6407. As they say, move your car. Make some noise with that now. Make some noise. Move your car. Right. All right. Brother Wayne was good, huh? Like he just want to talk for everybody. You know him, man. You know how long I want to come there, but I know the man. I sit down and eat with the man. We had a potluck once, and that's when I get to meet him on another level. So I dare not come up and say, Waspi, time, me? No. They said, don't time me.
You respect
You all
that.
heard that before,
you
right?
respect that.
Yeah, we respect the man. Dr. Faith is next. You all heard about her already. Her work preempts her. Before you could see her, you're hearing the good things she is doing. So let us welcome her. Give her a Mason Hall South, Bacolette, Bagatelle. Welcome, Dr.
Some
Faith
cry,
Brener.
some smile, some fight every day. We rise to the top, 'cause we know what it takes. Through it all, we survive, yet still hold the faith. Unchangeable, Lord, unchangeable. Hey, no matter how the dollar might stack up, me still not change. Me, I go stay rough. Inna the giddy and you have to buckle up your lace. Be smart, don't be a cuff, no, no. Life, it's a journey, it's a long race. Mama says, son, be wise and don't bring disgrace. So me take up the broom and start sweep the place. Cause all these ways they got.
Good evening, TPP family. Good evening, TPP family. Let me take this out. You all know the words of that song. You all know the words of that song? It says, some cry, some smile, some fight every day. We rise to the top cause we know what it takes. Through it all, we survive, yet still hold the faith unchangeable.
You respect that.
Lord,
You respect that.
unchangeable. And I started with that song because whenever I think about the woman who currently represents you, Natisha Charles Pantin, this song embodies her. And I want you to recognize that you are currently represented by a woman of honor. You are currently represented by a woman who is courageous. You are currently represented by a woman who literally, I have seen her give her all. And I can promise you, none of the others will do what she has done. None of the others will do what she has been doing. And let me give you an example. I remember one evening, it was middle of the night story. Middle of the night. And there was a fire up a hill, quite up by Calder Hall behind the field, going up behind there. French Fort, that is it. And there is Madame Natisha Charles Pantin. Must be 2 o'clock in the morning. They're up there with them. And the following day, I called her. I said, Natisha, you know, all they said is get me real vexing. What you doing up there 2 o'clock in the morning? You're a firefighter? What you doing up there? And you know what she said? Because I asked, how much people it have up there? And she actually said, it doesn't matter how much she have up there, that is her district. And she has to represent her district. And in the moment when we do not have anybody else, the moment when everybody else sleeping in the bed, she is up there representing her district in the middle of the fire.
You respect that. You respect
And
that.
I have seen that lady sick. All you doesn't know plenty times. All you doesn't know many times when her staff, and they have a way that us come, eh? She gonna be standing, and they gonna see she do this, and they will bring a chair, and she would sit. And what most of you all don't know is that she is on the verge of fainting. But is she leaving? No. Is she stopping? No. Is she going home? No. She is continuing the work because she is a woman of honor, she is a woman of courage, and she is a woman of service. And I dare anybody else, I dare any of the other candidates to say that they are willing to give the sacrifices that this woman has given for this island. She is who I look up to when I need courage. She is who I look up to when I say, you know what, I ain't feel like doing it today, you know, and then I go on Facebook and I see she in somebody's backyard. She is who I look up to when I need a moment to reflect and to think about why this is what we are doing. And I don't want you all to play for slips. I don't want you all to take any chance at all. Because I promise you, if she is not the area representative at the end of January 12th, every single one of you will regret it. Every single one of you will regret it, because when you see the caliber of the others, you know there is no comparison. And if all you know a little bit about my business, I know about the caliber of some of the others. Them who know. So let me talk a little bit. Because I hear some of the others talking about this idea that those of us who wear these beautiful blue jerseys and do nothing. And wicked. And do nothing. I want to talk a little bit about culture, because I know Mrs. Charles Pantin, when she come up, she got yard out herself about everything that going on in food production. So I ain't got to talk about food production. I'm leaving that for she to say all of the things that she has done. But let's talk a little bit about what has happened in the field of culture. You recognize that this Tobago House of Assembly, having come in December 2021, having come in the middle of COVID, decided on our first or probably second executive council that we want to do a brand new carnival for Tobago. When I heard it, I thought, I wonder if they know what this means. But we went along. And we have developed what may be the best carnival that the country has at this moment. You know why? Because Tobago is a safe and peaceful place. Because when they come here, they don't have to worry about what's happening there, what happening there. They don't have to worry about where their money is. They don't have to worry about any of that. Because Tobago is a wonderfully peaceful place. And we have taken that product. And yes, year one, we made some mistakes, but who doesn't? Year two, we made some mistakes, but we learned from the mistakes of year one. Year three, we made a little bit less mistakes because we learned from the mistakes of year one and year two. And what we just accomplished last Carnival, it was the largest festival that has happened on this island. And I want you to give us a round of applause. Because it does not matter what those on the other side said. And I know they're trying to tell you that you should not be comparing the 21 years to the 4 years that we have done this. But we're not stupid. We have to compare. We have to compare because this is the first time we have had the opportunity to do what we are doing. We have to compare because this is the first time we've had the opportunity to live this brand new reality outside of those on that side. And we have, you know, it's like on election day, the day after election day. Did you all remember that in December 2021? The day after election day when you got up the next morning and there was a sense of calm and there was a sense of peace and there was a sense of comfort that came over you. And it is because our minds were opened and we were able to see and we were able to say and we were able to speak. And for the first time, we felt like we could breathe. And that is why this election, we used the theme, Tobago is we. Because for the very, very first time, Tobago has an opportunity to truly develop and to truly become great. For the very, very, very first time in a very long time. And I would say the very first time in a very long time because if you go back to when Mr. Hochoy Charles was there and you listen to the things that he had planned for us. If he had been given the opportunity to execute those things, we would have been in a way better place than we are today. But God is good. Heaven knows what and why. But now you, Tobago, have an opportunity. You have an opportunity to ensure that the gains that we have made are never wiped out. And I promise you, if you allow those people who suddenly realize that Tobago could come first. After 21 years of saying great is them and great is whoever and whatnot, and it's suddenly because they realize we are the ones putting Tobago on the pedestal that it should be, they suddenly realize that, hey, Tobago first. But don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. Don't allow them and their well-oiled strategy to get to you, because you are the ones who will suffer. And I'm saying all of that to say this, because we have another meeting in Goodwood. I am saying all of that to say this. January 12th is the single day when all of us are equal. It does not matter what my current titles are, and I have plenty. Natisha has plenty titles too. But on January the 12th, all of us from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. have suddenly become equals. And we have become equals because every single one of us has one single vote. You need to make sure, though, that on that day you register your vote for the anchor. You need to ensure that on that day you can register your vote for the anchor. And I say that because now this district has a different fancy name. I really don't understand how ABC does come up with them name here. What is it? Mason Hall, South, Bagatelle. Let me digress. My district, it called Belgarden Glamorgan. If you know country, my district running from Gosborough to Kendall. Yes, Belgarden and Glamorgan, they're in there, but that is the littlest piece of it, and I don't know how they're coming up with these names. But what you have to do is ensure from now, because that switch that now has those people from that side voting in this district has actually caused a shift in a lot of the other districts as well. Because the EBC spent some time during this year going around and checking people's homes. The EBC may have come to your home 3, 4, 5 times and they didn't see you, and you think that you register and them take your name off at the list. All you listen to me. No make stick broke are your A's. Ensure that by tomorrow morning, every single person who is in the hearing of my voice either goes to one of the areas where they have physically stuck up the list to see if your name is there. If you are at home and you have a computer or you have a tablet or you have a cell phone, go to the EBC. You just need to search EBC and just put Trinidad. The first thing that comes up is the EBC page. You need to put in your first name, your last name, your month of birth, and the year you were born, and hit that enter button. When you do that, some of you may recognize that you were once voting in one polling station, and you're actually now voting in another. But it doesn't matter. We just need you to know where you go in on January 12th. Because even if you was voting in one place and you're now voting in another, it doesn't matter, because we rarely looking for all 15 seats. So it doesn't matter where you register your vote for the anchor. And for those of you who are on the outside listening, for those of you who are not wearing these blue jerseys but you are listening, you know for a fact that Natisha Charles Pantin has been good to you. You know for a fact that no matter what you ask for, she made a way to get it for you. You know for a fact that even if they come with their little bit of money, and by the way, they do it every single election, they just come and they just chook, and tell you, hold this. But remember, after you hold this, it got done. And after you hold this and it done, is you suffering after January 12th. So do not take God out of your thoughts. Do not play for slips. Do not say, because I'm hearing it on the outside. You know, because some of these meetings has get kind of exciting. And you know, sometimes we just say some things and it does be a little bit offensive to some people. And some of them on the other side come in and talk all kind of downright lies. I hear some people who I think are decent, upstanding citizens saying they don't like the Bacchanal. They don't want to be a part of that, so they're not voting. Y'all, we can't. We have come too far to give it back to them now. We have come too far to go back into the wilderness. We have finally seen the light at the end of that tunnel, and we cannot allow the tunnel to be shut. Tobago is we. Tobago is all away. And it takes every single one of you, because you on election day is equal to me, to go out and, as they say, dirty your finger. But ensure when you do it for a party that has integrity, the Tobago People's Party. You do it for a party that has been fighting for you, the Tobago People's Party. You do it for a party that has been going out there and doing everything in our power, the Tobago People's Party. You do it for a woman who end up in hospital plenty times, or you don't even know this Tobago People's Party. Because with that, each of you doing what you need to do, we will get to the point of making Tobago the greatest little island on the planet. But without you, we cannot do it.
You respect that?
So when all the hype done, when all the Bacchanal done, when all whatever in the pot, the bubbling behind the done, make sure, check your registration, and on January 12th, vote for the Tobago People's Party. I thank you.
Tobago is we, one heart, one destiny. Tobago is we, one heart, one destiny. Tobago is we, one heart, one destiny. Tobago is we stand as one family. Tobago is we, from every hill and every valley. Tobago is we vote in Tobago People's Party.
Let me take this opportunity to say thanks to drummers of Tobago. Yeah. How we boy them? They're not leaving us behind. They know we need the rhythm. They know the kind of people we are. We like vibes. Hey, beat that thing again. Let me hear that. Yes. Aha. Nice. Aha. It's that moment. Aha. You all know when we get to that kind of level what's happening next, right? Time for big girl. Time for auntie. Time for mommy. Time for our representative. Time for our candidate. Time for the one who loves us. The one who getting up any hour of the night and come when we call. The one who return calls. The one who would spend her last cent. Empty the bank card.
The sun is rising over Bagatelle State. The light is clear and true.
Natisha.
A brand new day for Bagatelle
Natisha
Garden.
Charles Pantin. Come in.
Promise
Come
waiting
in.
for you.
Come in. Yeah.
We walked the road, we know the journey. The path we've taken so far from Bagatelle Trace to Bagatelle Crescent. She's shown us who we are. Now January 12th is calling. No time to hesitate. Hear the drum beat rising, calling out the change we see. From Mesa Hall, South Bagatelle, it's time for unity. The rhythm strong, the message clear. We're moving forward, seeking more. Natisha, oh, Charles Pantin, steady and bright. Natisha, lighting up the darkest night. Incumbent, reliable, standing tall for you and me. From Mason Hall, South Bagatelle, she brings the people's victory. Vote number 12th of January. Let the whole wide world know. Natisha, let's make this garden grow. Down Calder Hall Road, where the families meet and talk. Through Cocoa, our tea trace, we see her working while others walk. From Bagatelle #1, the solid stand we take. And the good people of Bagatelle #2, for goodness sake. We feel the pulse on Church Street, the spirit high and bold. The Mason Hall, Lake Road, a story to be told. Yeah. Hear the drum beat rising, calling out the change we see. From Mason Hall, South Bagatelle, it's time for unity. The rhythm strong, the message clear. We're moving forward, seeking more. Natisha, oh, Charles Pantin, steady and bright. Natisha, lighting up the darkest night. Incumbent, reliable, standing tall for you and me. From Mason Hall, South Bagatelle, she brings the people's victory. Vote number 1, 12th of January. Let the whole wide world know. Natisha, let's make this garden grow. Remember Friendsfield Road and Friendsfield Court, so dear.
Family!
Conk, conk,
CPP family, let me hear you say yay! We sung strong. Political leader, the Honorable Farley Chavez Augustine. Deputy political leaders, Dr. Faith Brener, Trevor James. I can't call myself. All members of the executive, my beautiful chairman, my chairman of the action group, lovely lady, all our family members in the Tobago People's Party. Good evening. Mason Hall South, Bagatelle, and I am personally going to add Bacolet. Tonight, I stand before you grateful, humbled, and deeply aware of the responsibility that comes with standing right here at home amongst my people. 4 years ago, the EBC created the new district of Bagatelle Bacolet to form 15 seats because they felt they would have won. Again, the EBC has since expanded the areas I'm responsible for. But I want to assure Spence Trace, Croton Lane, Sandy River, Northside Road, and all the other areas, I am ready to work for you. I was born and raised within this district. Don't let them fool you. I am from this district. But even more important than that, I am a Tobagonian. So it doesn't matter what district I am from.
You respect that?
And I want to begin by saying thank you. Thank you to the political leader for giving me the opportunity to serve. Thank you to the people of this district for choosing me in the last Tobago House of Assembly elections. Thank you for believing in me enough to give me the opportunity once again to serve you. Representation is not something I ever take lightly. Because to me, it is not a title and it is not a position. It is not something you put on for an election and then put down after. Representation is work. It is commitment. And one of the things I hear all the time, and I smile every time I hear it, people saying Pantin always in she area. Anytime you turn around, she passing. She always around. And that has been my motto from day one when I was elected. Consistently, I have set up tents all over the district to facilitate residents to meet with me. And I've tried to keep up with all the messages and calls. If you choose me, you must see me. If you trust me, I must show up. If you elect me, I must work. And I've worked not from a distance, not from behind a desk, but on the ground, in the roads, in the homes, in the lives of the people of Mason, also Bagatelle, you name it, EBC. I have been there. I've walked French Fort, Belmont Road. I've been in Mason Hall, Bagatelle, Fort Street, Friendsfield, Bacolette, Uptown, Cradley, Richard Trace, Concordia. I've sat with families who needed help, listened to residents who were frustrated, and heard people who just wanted someone to take them seriously. And when people raise issues about water access, we didn't give excuses. That up at French Fort. We lobbied and booster stations were installed. Tanks and tank stands were put in place. And practical solutions were delivered. When people spoke about safety, about dark roads and vulnerable areas, street lights were delivered in Celestial View. Ask the people in the crowd, they will tell you. A place in town, a whole community without lights, Celestial View, and they got the lights. French Fort, Cradley, Bacolette Point, Bacolette Inez, and other communities, because representation must translate into dignity and quality of life. And when I say I am community-centered, I mean it. I mean the women who needed support and empowerment. I mean the young people who needed an opportunity. I mean the families who needed help navigating grants, social assistance, and basic support. We helped residents do plenty in this district. We supported employment opportunities and launched programs aimed at uplifting women and children. And we didn't forget the elderly. We provided hampers, pressure testing kits, Christmas we did partnerships, yard maintenance and care, because how we treat our elderly says everything about who we are as a people. We supported youth literacy programs through programs like Reading with Expression. We supported football tournaments, bike shows, community talent shows, and that is where I met Rajon. Community cleanup, bins for the streets, and other initiatives. So we wanted to make Bagatelle, Bacolette, and now Mason Hall, South Bagatelle, clean, safe, and proud. This is service. So when you hear the talking that I didn't do anything in the district, such a shame. Talk something else. Let me talk about roads. Everybody in Tobago know roads matter. Road surfacing was completed in Dove Street, parts of Bagatelle, Cradley and Mason Hall, Belmont Farm Road. Roads were either resurfaced or potholes were patched, not once but continuously, because infrastructure is not a one-time thing. Extensions were completed, hills were stabilized, drains were constructed, bridges were reinforced. It is ongoing care. And these are not ribbon-cutting projects, but everyday improvements.
You respect that. You respect that.
But some of the work that touched me the most was housing and safety. When a resident in Friendsfield was diagnosed with cancer and needed a home, we didn't turn her away. A house was constructed through donations and personal sacrifice. because leadership must be humane. Families in urgent need along Belmont Farm Road are being supported right now, and even in Friendsfield. Retaining walls were funded to save homes in Friendsfield, Adelphi Road, Belmont Farm Road, and Church Street. Flooring and plastering. We did a lot without THA funds, but we came together and raised funds as an action group. Trees that threaten lives and property, right up there. We remove them. And this is what it means when we say we are about service, the Tobago People's Party. We are about service. A lot of work was done, but it wasn't always publicized. But trust and believe, it is being done. Mason Hall, South, Bagatelle, and Bagatelle, pause for a second and think about the time when money was flowing like water. There were no limits such as procurement. Contractors were chosen without a process and without all the laws. What was done before I became the area representative? You could remember? How many people were employed? Many streets were in darkness. 21 years of neglect cannot be fixed in 4 years. But 4 years was enough to start. Enough to clean up systems, restore accountability. Rebuild confidence and lay foundations. And that is why this election is not about starting over. This election is about continuity. It is about discipline. It is about momentum. It is about allowing Tobago to finish what Tobago finally began. I am not perfect, and I am not selling that here tonight. I am saying to you that I have receipts to show that my team and I have been working.
You respect that? You respect that?
We have been raising funds, forming partnerships, and sometimes even exchanging words as ordinary people to get things done for this district and its people.
You respect that? You respect that?
And in my role, I'm going to digress, in my role in the Division of Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment and Sustainable Development, people often say to me, food security is one of the best divisions. And I always answer honestly, it is not because I'm me alone. It is because we are all working together at the division. We are all working together at the Tobago House of Assembly at that level. We are working for Tobago. We didn't have a lot of money to work. We didn't have a lot of money to work with. But if you do a tally, let me just take a company from under the division, Tadco. Tadco was able to place over $8 million into the pockets of our stakeholders. $8 million.
You respect that? You respect that?
And similar to the district, when we entered that division, what we met there was decades of neglect, rundown facilities, outdated systems, and people doing their best inside structures that no longer serve them. And even the PNM people in OSHA, they know the place rundown, you know, but they're still coming at me when I'm trying to fix it. And instead of walking away or making excuses, we fix emergencies while rebuilding systems at the same time. That is why markets, fish facilities, nurseries, the abattoir, training centers, agro-processing facilities have seen real repairs and upgrades.
You respect that? You respect that?
And they're trying to spread a rumor how I give out lands up in Belmont and then build roads. No, I didn't give out any lands. Land management is not under me. But we continued the Access Roads program, and it was made more accountable and transparent. We had emergency sargassum cleanups, and we procured a lot of equipment to clean up Tobago.
You respect that? You respect that?
And don't talk about Tadco. Tadco represents what is possible when Tobago believes in itself. Both the chairman of Tadco And the captain of the capital of paradise has roots in this district, and you should be proud. Strong, strong roots.
You respect that. You respect that.
Under this administration, TADCO has become a real engine for agribusiness. It is now a place where local farmers and agro-processors can sell their products and that meet international standards. It is where Tobago-grown cassava, sweet potato, breadfruit, dasheen, poultry, pork, goat, beef, lamb, you name it, are not just produced, but processed, packaged, and marketed. Local meats, local seasonings, local teas, local honey, value-added products created by Tobagonians, for Tobagonians, and for export. And I am now proud to announce that in the new year, a tea shop selling local teas will become operational at the Botanical Gardens. Go and enjoy the lights. It's beautiful down there. And very soon, you wouldn't only have to go to the beautiful village of Louisdor. You can get your plants right there in Botanical Gardens.
You respect that. You respect that.
In 2022, we launched what was then a 6-month pilot project called TADCO Food Box Initiative. And today, that pilot has grown into what we now proudly call the Community Care Program. A program that sources fresh, local agricultural produce directly from Tobago farmers and commodities from Tobago agro-processors. Since May, these food boxes have been delivered consistently every single month to over 300 families across this island. And when I say food boxes, I mean real Tobago food. Chicken, fish, eggs, sauces, seasonings, healthy foods. Because when I help in everybody, not just in my district, all over Tobago. Tobago deserves access to healthy, nutritious food. And this program goes even further because we partnered with the great Dr. Faith at the Division of Health, Wellness, and Social Protection. Because we want to ensure that the care that we're giving is holistic. So we do health screenings, mental health conversations, dental assistance. We held health fairs in Tiantec, in Delaford, Mason Hall, Bagatelle, and at the Shore Park Food Hub. Spaces where people could learn about healthy lifestyles and preventative care. Because development is in our people, and we care deeply about the health, dignity, and well-being of Tobago people. And when people ask why food security is performing, the answer is simple. Because we decided that agriculture must be treated as a science and a business, a proper business. Not a side thing, not a fallback, not something we only remember when food prices rise, but a real sector with infrastructure, research, training, technology, markets, and opportunity for young people. Through the Tobago Agricultural Research Initiative, an MOU was signed with the University of Trinidad and Tobago to deliver certificate and diploma programs in agriculture, as well as certificate courses in agro-processing, all offered in Tobago. I had to travel to Trinidad to get educated. Now you don't have to, because we put things in place. And for the first time, our young people no longer have to leave Tobago to pursue higher level education in agriculture. They can learn, train, qualify, and build their future right here at home. Through the Tobago Agri-Technology Services Limited as well. We have held 2 agri-tech summits in 2 years to boost the sector and put agri-technology as part of the conversation.
You respect that.
And Tobago, this is only the beginning. Designs are already complete for the Roxborough Food and Transportation Hub. And the Mason Hall Food Hub is being constructed as we speak. The Mason Hall Food Hub has spaces that will support farmers' markets, retail activities, distribution, and transportations. And I hearing the nonsense about I give out spots in the food hub already. Nonsense. The food hub ain't finished bill. Right? So all the spots are still available to you. Processing facilities are being reconfigured to support agro-processing in Louisdor. Tractor pool facilities are being repaired as we speak. Plans are in place for a veterinary diagnostic laboratory to serve all the animals across the island. Agro parks are being created. You have one in Argyle, that's the Chief Sec baby. And you have one in Friendship. Seed banks are going to be created. We started the conversation at the Agri-Technology conference. We expanded the home gardening programs. All of these are about food sovereignty, resilience, and Tobago controlling its own future. And I could go on, you know, because it's plenty. But we don't have the time tonight. So let me speak directly to this district. My people of Mason, All South, Bagatelle, and Bacolet, I've listened to your struggles, your ideas, your frustrations, and your hopes. And based on that, I've developed a clear vision for the recovery and development of this constituency. One that is practical, fair, and rooted in Tobago reality. I knew when we sat down to create this program, it needed to ensure power was put back into your hands and also ensure that growth here is sustainable, inclusive, and people-centered. So I will continue pushing for professional financing and architectural and engineering support to help teachers and nurses establish licensed private service centers so that we can ensure that we take care of our elderly and we have tutoring going on in this district, extra lessons and skills training. I'll continue to push for additional employment because that is what people are concerned about. And the plan started with treating with the unemployed first. And then there are those who wish to upgrade from the current status. And this will begin in a phased basis. But the idea over the last 4 years was to address the unemployment issue in the first instance. Too many of the district people were unemployed, hundreds. And those who didn't have, we felt that they should have first. Community development must be democratic. And that is why we established and will roll out a community fund. Decisions about development will no longer be made for you, but with you. Those little community repairs that we're doing, that we had to sell bacon and saltfish and all kind of thing, you could access that fund so that you could do your little community repairs. And all the community groups will have access to this type of financial support. This is democracy in action. We will establish a community center for community groups to utilize. But we have been using a lot of the spaces that were never used in this district for all our events, giving our people within the district financial support. Roads, bridges, staircases, trails, brace walls, lighting, security cameras, signage, all of these issues in the district will be tackled methodologically. The recycling program is being restructured, and plans will be presented in the new year by the Tobago Reforestation and Watershed Rehabilitation Program in partnership with the Division of Health. The creative industries, sports, carnival, steel pan, mud mass will be revitalized. Bagatelle's legacy will not be forgotten. An Agri-Science and Discovery Center is being discussed for the district to enhance the skills and bring out the creativity in our people. And we're going to create a hub so that you can sell, that you can become an entrepreneur from this district. And I'm happy to announce that we have a horticulture and beautification project that is being rolled out right now. So employment opportunities will be created. Of course, we're going to continue to support the animal welfare. You know that is in Friendsfield. So we have a lot of plans that I can't finish all tonight. But I can tell you that this is my commitment to the people of Mason, All South, Bacolet, and Bagatelle. I will fight for you. I will plan with you. I will govern with evidence and heart. But to succeed, we must work as a team. It can't be me alone. It has to be all of us. So when people tell you that nothing has changed, something wrong. Because I can't recall nothing that was happening in this area. Nothing. I haven't heard anybody speak about it. I can't recall it. So remind them that real work doesn't always have to shout. Real work builds. Real work lays foundations. Real work prepares Tobago not just for today, but for generations to come. This election is about protecting your progress. It is about choosing leadership that is steady, disciplined, and focused. Leadership that understands that development is not a sprint, it is a journey. And you know, sometimes they just confuse themselves, eh? Because if you say nothing was done, that means you're accusing the person before me. It had to be. Because if the person before me was doing something, then you would have seen a legacy for today. So they're confusing themselves. And that is why the Tobago People's Party, we chose the theme for this season, and it speaks deeply to me. Tobago is we. Tobago is not one person. Tobago is farmers and fishers. Tobago is public servants. Tobago is entrepreneurs. Tobago is the elders. Tobago is the youth. Tobago is Mason Hall. Tobago is Bagatelle. Tobago is Bagatelle. Tobago is Scarborough. Tobago is Roxborough. Tobago is Bucco. Tobago is Charlottesville. All of us together.
You respect that. You respect that.
You will learn.
Tobago is we. When we decide that our island deserves better, and we're doing it as Tobagonians. We're not controlled by Trinidad.
You respect that.
Tobago is we when we vote not out of fear, but out of confidence in ourselves and in what we are building together. So tonight I stand before you asking for your continued belief. Belief in consistency. Belief in competence. Belief in community-centered leadership. On January the 12th, stand with me. Stand with the Tobago People's Party. Stand for continuity. Stand for progress. Stand for Tobago. And when anyone asks where Tobago is going, let us answer them together. Forward. Because Tobago is we.
You respect that. You respect that.
Thank you, my brothers and sisters. And may God bless the greatest little island on the planet.
Natisha.
The sun is rising over Bagatelle State. The light is clear and true. A brand new day for Bagatelle God.
Y'all heard it for yourself. What a report. 4 more years. Let me hear you. 4 more years. 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 She must complete that which we have started. Tobago is we, and all of us are going to contribute. We will support all our leaders so that they could do their best. 4 more years. 4 more years. All right. Woo! Yes. Well, hear what?
You respect that.
You all know we have international viewers. We have the diaspora. People all over the world looking at us. My gosh. Tobago. I hope we appreciate what we have. We have a prized piece of island. How did Chief Secretary say it again? The what? The greatest. What is that he said? I'm not hearing you. Help me now. Oh, yes. The greatest little island. On the planet. Good. All right. Well, we continue to... Wow, look at people, boy. Am I seeing well? All out there. Yeah. Look at people, oh.
You respect that.
As far as my eyes can see. People. Well, hear what? I hear they have another meeting. And we can't go without hearing from our chief. We got to hear from the chief. The chief, Mr. Let's go. Mr. Fali Chavez Augustine. Let's hear it for the man!
Good night, Tobago. Good night, Bagatelle. Good night, Cola Hall. Good night, Friendsfield. Let us hear it for our A representative, Natasha Charles Pantin. Now, this is just the first of our 2 meetings, so we're just warming up. But I heard Secretary Pantin spoke a while ago, and she went through extremely great details with just what she did in her division of food security. 2 nights ago, we heard from the Secretary of Education, who did the same thing. And so when you hear them trying to peddle the lies that nothing had happened for the last 4 years, please tell those fibbers to come again. Because this is the most that has ever happened in a single 4-year period, and it happened under the Tobago People's Partnership. Tonight, I want to do 2 things in 5 minutes, because you'll hear from me again in Goodwood. The first thing I want to do is to endorse the candidacy of Natisha Charles Pantin. You know, in every classroom, and I taught for 7 years, in every classroom, you always have the high-performing student who just wants to get the work done. There's always a student, if they come back with a grade B, they just try to go again to see if they get a grade A, because they're so driven. That is Mrs. Pantin. I also want you to appreciate that in Tobago's political history, this is the first time we had a woman Secretary of Agriculture on the island. And she did better than all the men them that came before her. I want to challenge them on the other side. What was happening in agriculture before? Building roads to nowhere. What was happening there before? When you look at the amount of repairs and fixes Mrs. Pantin had to do, you have to ask yourself, what were they doing? It's because Mrs. Pantin came on the scene while Studley Park Fishing Depot was fixed over and is now much more usable than when it had before. They have fancy roller blade, shutters rolling up, opening to the outdoors, so the fishers could be moved from using a piece of wood, a piece of table, and actually to go into the facility to use it. Mrs. Pantin inherited fishing depots, some never used since the bill, and they spoil. Look at the one down Delaford. I see people trying to walk around, so they're painting up. But the one down Delaford bill, and since it bill, it never used. PNM bill it never built good from the first place. Never built to the specs according to the fisher folk. But Mrs. Pantin is here, and she has been systematically fixing all of the messes that they left behind. When we look at Palatuvier, and I now come from the north side, these people built a platform in Palatuvier. Must be about 12 to 15 years now, the foundation there. Not a fishing depot. When I spoke to Secretary Pantin, she said, you know, Palatuvier has a record every single year for the most catch from among all the groups of fishermen around the entire island. And yet they had no fishing depot. Right now, we're on the final phase of that building. Upstairs building. And when that fishing depot finish, you go have a restaurant and bar inside the same fishing depot. Because we consulted with the fisher folk to determine the design. Mrs. Pantin did that. Before we came into office, people used to be able to go and get the smoked fish and the ham and so on made by the marketing department. They shut it down, they closed down Louis d'Or, they amalgamated the thing into something called Tatco. Tatco not making any money. People placed in wrong positions, nothing working out. Right now, as we speak, if you go up to Louis d'Or, you could see the processing plant being renovated, being rebuilt, so that our agro-processors could just book a spot and go into a facility, produce their goods, and be export ready because it meets international standards. Is Miss Pantin do that? So when I hear the minority that saying that Pantin and do nothing, you have to wonder where he live or whether it's just bad mind. But you see, come January 12, 2026, Tobagonians is going to go out and vote with a piece of bad mind. Is Miss Pantin fix that? The abattoir is Miss Pantin fix that? So what I'm talking about? She has done more than 190 years as Secretaries of Agriculture. And so tonight we have endorsed and big up our woman, first woman, Secretary of Food Security, Natisha Charles Pantin. I also want to pay attention to her community engagement. What she has done for her district and in her district. Every Monday morning, Pantin walking. There's no testing, no election time alone. And I will say, I am sure if you compare Pantin's walks in her district with mine, she's double and triple mine. Because she's insistent that she will find a way to connect to people all the time, including those who did not vote for her and those who don't support her. Because she supports everybody. Everybody. All the community activities she has held. All the youngsters she has worked along with. And I'm saying one good term deserves another good term. And we are voting for nobody else but Secretary Natisha Charles Pantin. I see they send a policeman. But them same handcuff you used to lock up people, we going to lock you up come January the 12th because we only voting Secretary Natisha Charles Pantin in this election. And the second and final thing I want to tell you tonight here in Bagatelle is that in this election, while we are employing you to vote on all the things we have done in the district and across the island of Tobago, we are asking you to also vote on our future plans. Because our future plans, they go through a particular line of testing. We don't just make it up in the middle of the night. We don't go to bed with your belly full and have nightmares and get up the next day and say, this is what we're going to do. We have a methodological process where it's conceptualized, where we go through a feasibility study phase, where we plan for the development, and then we look at design, then the design informs the costing, and then from the costing we build. That is how you do proper development planning and execution. That's how you ensure you get value for money. We are working by VAPs. And when you look at this political organization, this party, and look at our future plans, and I said long ago that on January the 1st we are going to release. I hear the other side say that they're going to release. You know, Carter sing a song where he say, if me not spit, then I swallow. Because we know is a copycat thing with them. But they can't do this and beat me. Imitation is the greatest form of flattery. So we welcome it. So we say we're delivering on January 1st. Them say they're delivering on January 1st. And I assure you that when we put our policy plans out there, none of the other plans will be as superior to us. Because we have done the work. We have done the research. We looked at what works, what doesn't work. We employ the use of experts. We sat down with the economists. We look at the direction we need to go, and we are taking those steps. More than that, our blueprint that will be released on January 1st is in tandem with the development pathway that we have already created that will take us to 2045. And I want to tell you about that quickly. We got the CEDP, which is the Comprehensive Economic Development Plan, the first one, after PNM was in the second term in office. In other words, they spent the entire first term in office and could not deliver on a development plan, a long-term development plan for the island. By comparison, we in our very first term in office, we have been able to deliver on a development pathway for the island that will take us all the way to 2045. And that deserves some noise tonight. Because it means your government and just sit down doing nothing. We have been consistent. We have been putting in the work. We have been doing the research and ensuring that we get this thing done. In this election, you cannot get distracted from that development plan. You can't lose your way. Now is not the time to give up on what we have going. But I want to tell you, you have to go out there. All of those fancy things that Mrs. Pantin did, all of the deliverables she spoke about on the platform tonight, you have to go out there and you have to preach the gospel and educate the electorate. Let the electorate be aware of what has happened. One of the biggest flaws of my government is that we don't do enough self-praise. We ain't walk around with cameras everywhere we go. Camera in the face, camera behind me, every single where we go. We ain't show off enough. And that's one thing I plan to change in the next election cycle, the next term. Because I realize that people want you to show off about the things you do. And take out a picture everywhere you go. But Tobagonians are smart and brilliant. And they have seen the good work. And they understand that this good term deserves an even better term next term. And so in this election, we are saying Tobago is we. In this election, we are saying we are Tobago. In this election, we are saying that there is only one political institution on the island that represents the ethos, the values, the dreams, the aspirations, the hopes of the people of Tobago. And that is the Tobago People's Party. This election, we are placing our vote for the anchor. And if you live in this area, you are voting for Natisha Charles Pantin. The district's name has been changed to Mason Hall South Bagatelle. That simply means we're running all the way from Sandy River all the way out to Bagatelle. Look at what Natisha did in this area and give her your vote. Look at what Natisha did in the division and give her your vote. Look at her leadership capabilities and give her your vote. Now is not the time to bet on a horse that is not proven. Now is the time to bet on a horse that are accustomed winning races and will win this race for you. Now is not a time to take a gamble. Now is not the time to throw good money behind bad. Now is the time to stick to that which is proven. And Natisha Charles Pantin is proven from Mason Hall South Bagatelle. And we are going out in large numbers and we are giving her the vote. And so we want to thank you tonight because you have been following us everywhere we go. And let me tell you, this is no by crowd. We don't have to give you no money to come here tonight. We don't have to give you drinks and food to come here when the night comes.
We are not to come and bribe you to come here. You're coming here because Tobago is we. This is we thing. This is we party. This is we island. We will stand up and fight for this island, and we will ensure we continue to deliver an island that can progressively get better as we build out the greatest little island on the planet. I thank you. I see you in Goodwood in a few minutes. Let us journey safely all the way to Goodwood. God bless you. God bless you richly. Thank you, Mason Hall, South Bagatelle.
Don't go through those gates. We have entertainment. You know, we are a classy constituency. We do it well. And we have entertainment. Who do you think we have coming next? Stone. But you know what? Let us just say thanks to the chief, all right, for gracing us with his presence, for sharing some of the plans they have for the next 4 years, for endorsing our secretary, for just a simple showing up. We are eternally grateful. So, ladies and gentlemen, you know, before entertainment comes, it gives me pleasure to also say thank you. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for your support. Thank you for what you're going to do on January the 12th. You know where to put the X. We want no other but our area representative, Mrs. Natisha Charles Pantin. Let's just bring on the entertainer at this time.
Tobago people, come rally round the blue, the rest.
Hold on, let me hear you. Tobago People's Party, come rally round the blue, the rest is history. Tobago
People's Party,
TPP. Let me see ya. The anchor hold, yeah. Tell them the anchor hold, yeah. The anchor hold, yeah. Tell them the anchor hold, yeah. Beyond control, yeah. Tell them the anchor hold, yeah. The anchor hold. Tobago, this is my land, the greatest little island on the planet. Understand it, real historic, yeah. Let's hold our meditation. Together we could stand strong. Child by child, family by family, village by village, yeah. Blue is the code, step on the road, take control, say, oh yeah. Blue is the code, step on the road, take control, say, oh yeah. People's Party, TPP, yeah. Tobago family, the anchor hold, yeah. Tell them the anchor hold, yeah. Sing the anchor hold, yeah. Tell them the anchor. Let me see all yeah. The anchor hold, yeah. Tell them the anchor hold, yeah. The anchor hold. Blue, God loves you, yeah. TPP is here for you, yeah. Red will make you pee your bed. Too much crime and violence. We don't want no bloodshed, yeah. Blue is the code, step on the road, take control, say, oh yeah. Blue is the code, step on the road, take control, say, oh yeah.
Tobago People's Party,
TPP. The next thing.
Tobago time to win.
Yeah, oh. It's Tobago time to win. Anytime now. Them a go see the blue wave and get afraid. Anytime now. Them a go see the blue wave and get afraid. Anytime now. Them a go see the blue wave and get afraid. Anytime now. Them a go see the blue wave. What we got tell them? If you can't beat with them, join way. Join way. Join way. Tell them if you can't beat with them, join way. Join way. Join way. Simply cause the anchor hold and the hem is steady. Make a clean sweep in every nook and cranny. Yes, the anchor hold and we moving steady.